Here we go.
Get out
For your words, your support over the years. 45 years this January. Right now, it has been in the medical and surgical field. I left here the beginning of January 1971. And when I came back at the end of 74, I worked at Queen Elizabeth in the children's ward for a while. And to give you some perspective, Dr. St. John and Dr. Edwards were just interns. And Dr. Edwards used to go to Bushy Park in those days, and he was the surgeon. It's not the surgeon, he was the doctor up there at Bushy Park. And I don't think you all were married in those days, but that's one thing I remember. I was thinking back the other night. My God, I remember. Yeah, that's right. And then I left Queen Elizabeth, got married, had my children, basically worked in medical rep-in and doctors' offices, and then the opportunity came to go to diagnostic hospital. And although I was in charge of diagnostic hospital, I was Jack or Jill of all trades. I remember the day that somebody had to have their baby on Valentine's Day. No matter what they were supposed to do, they were to have that baby on Valentine's Day. Could not get, there was one of our staff who could come out to do the case. It was a bank holiday or something, I can't remember what it was. But we couldn't find a RN, and you have to have an RN. Lynda had to come in. She hadn't done surgery in a long time, but she still had her license. I'd just be there in the OR, and the OR tech basically told me what to do in the surgeon. I don't know if you remember that.
Great.
Yeah, I remember, you know. And then over the years, there have been many things. As you all referred to, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning, the security guard called in and said, Mrs. Lewis, the operating theatre is flooded out. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, you have to find a way to get it ready for 8 o'clock start. And we did. We started at 8:30. Or you would get a phone call, there's no hot water in the hospital. Nobody knows where the switch is to turn on the heater. So it's a jack and a jill. But I have enjoyed the years at Bayview. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, like any family. I asked my 2 daughters to come here today because they know I'm going to do this. But they have grown up with Bayview. Bayview has been their family. You've watched their children be born here. And the gentleman who brought my grandchildren into the world is man of few words that's standing there. All 4 of them. And the gentleman sitting on the ground there, Dr. Cave, I remember him saying, with one child who had not cried, I was in the OR, I think it was, or wherever, he said, and eventually it didn't cry, and he says, ah, good. That's what I was waiting on, and I think since then that particular grandchild's just never shut up. So Bayview has been the family, and then when I had my personal problems, you all were all there. I was off sick for about 6 months, but you all were all there. I could count on you, and I know I will count on you all as we go forward. There you see, I haven't let go yet. Mr. Harris is not right. But let me see if there's anything else. Yes, the sort of thing, I want to thank all of the owners, the various chairmen, the board of directors, the staff, everybody, for all your help and support. We started this hospital, and with few exceptions, none of us knew what we were doing. And we learned the hard way. We learned by work and failure, and go forward and go again. And we're still learning, and maybe we'll still go forward. It has I think we've surprised a number of people back in the 1980s who didn't think we would succeed, and we have 20-something years later, nearly 30 years later, we're still here, and we're poised to go even further with the new owners. And okay, this is just something that I wanted to touch on.